Hello and welcome. So you're in the business for about 10 years now. You have your own agency. And I was curious to know how you feel that your business evolved for the last 12 months. Can you explain a little bit?
Yes, sure. I think over the last couple of months we've been focusing a lot on efficiency and automation. So our job is very intensive. Different processes, they come every time again, and we are trying to automate those processes. So in order to be very efficient and win time and as such win money. Yeah.
And so you chose for SweepBright as your technological backbone.
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit why you made that choice?
Yeah, in fact, I have actually an interest in real estate software, and I've been studying different providers over the last couple of years. And in my humble opinion, SweepBright is actually the only developer or the only program that doesn't want to do everything. It just focuses on bringing potential buyers and properties together. For instance, it does not have a calendar of its own,
No.
It does not have a task management system of its own, but what it does have is the ability to communicate with other programs and with other software and apps. And that is actually the reason why I chose to work with SweepBright.
And so you said that communicating with other applications out there was an important factor in your decision-making process. So when we talk about that, that means that you need to exchange data or information between different applications that do different things for your agencies. And can you tell us which processes precisely you're trying to make, communicate, or automate? So what business processes or what part of your business are you trying to automate?
The purpose in the end is to automate 90%. But right now, one of the most important ones that we have automated is, for instance, when an agent is on the field and he gets a new listing, then on his phone he can say this property now has the status available. And as soon as he hits available, a lot of processes start. For instance, in our document folders, in our file system in the cloud, we use Google Drive for that.
Yes.
Automatically it creates a folder with subfolders, with even sheets in it, certain templates. This goes all automatically.
So you have a cascade of events happening?
Yes, for instance, also everybody in the office, they get a message through Slack or internal communication software that someone or some agent got a new listing, or a back office, they automatically get into, we work with Trello, with task management app. They get a card which has all the data on the property, which has the contact detail information about the vendor, and it even creates checklists for our back office, so they know what to do, even they have not spoken to the agent yet.
So if I understand you correctly here, it's a bit magic. Like you have a new listing, and the agent is in the field, like you said, he's on his mobile phone using SweepBright and saying, hey, I've got a new listing, I'm just gonna change the status to that listing is just become available, and boom, you have a communication with your team, you have task management automatically being set up, files and folders being created on Google Drive in like an instant.
Yes, exactly.
Wow,
Correct.
Okay, so that's spectacular because normally you would do that all manual, so somebody in the office would need to process all those tasks manually, and now instead of spending time on doing all of that, you can basically focus on what is really important, if I understand.
The customer, exactly.
Okay,
yes.
So we talked about 3 or 4 different apps that you're using. I'll get back to that in a second, but I want to shift a little bit more about the time you're freeing up, because if I understand you correctly, efficiency is about time and using your time wisely. So now that your agency is freeing up time or automating a lot of the processes that you've got, how are you investing that valuable time of your staff?
Well, the idea is then that we invested more into prospecting more business, of course,
Yeah.
and then becoming a bigger agency.
So the goal for you is to grow your business and focus your time investment on generating new listings?
Yes. and getting more sales, and also for the customer selling our properties faster.
Okay.
Because of this automation process, before it took 50% more time to get it online, to get it published.
50?
Yeah, more than 50, I think.
Wow.
I think 50-60%. Now we can do this a lot faster, so we can help the clients faster in order to sell it more smoothly.
And so, do you have the feeling that your customers, both the vendors and prospective buyers and tenants, respond to the fact that you have automated, even if they don't know about it? Do you get the feeling from the market that you are offering them a better customer experience because of it?
I believe we do, yes.
Yes?
Because we also did other things, like for instance, when they want to schedule a visit,
Yeah.
The potential buyer, they get an invite in their calendar, so automatically it's in their calendar, and the chance that they miss or forget their appointment
is reduced.
It's reduced, so that's better. Also towards the vendor, in the past, we sent once a month, we sent a whole detailed report. But now, with every visit or contact, it's very easy. We just click send feedback to vendor, and then
they get an overview.
They get an email, and they know what's happening. So also toward the potential buyers, but also towards the vendors, there's an improved customer experience.
Wow. Okay, but that's super interesting. Do you feel that the market has evolved dramatically in the past couple of months? Do you have a feeling that the industry is shifting somehow?
Yes, I believe it is shifting, because now the buyers, they are the millennials.
Yeah.
And not only the way that they look at the property is different, but also the way that they communicate towards us is different.
What do you mean the way they communicate? They use different tools?
Yeah, for instance, they prefer to chat instead of grabbing the phone, or they use email. So through SweepBright, we have also automated that they can chat with us, and we still have the contact in our.
So the market has changed in the sense that the typical buyer is becoming more. It's a new generation,
yes,
which has an implication on the way you're going to communicate with them.
Yes.
And that's really something that you've been feeling changing in the past couple of months, and you adapted to it.
Yes, you can see this as a threat, but for us also it's an opportunity, because of all the automation processes that we have. We feel by now the vendor is not changing that much yet, but then again, this is also an opportunity, because the vendor does not really understand the millennial yet, and then we as an agent or as brokers are the perfect link
and
between the two parties. So.
And so now that you're mentioning the opportunity aspect, on which you are basically trying to leverage that opportunity using technology and automations in order to gain from it. Do you have any ambition with your brokerage for the next 12 months or for the future? How do you see your brokerage evolve?
Well, I only see there's only one way, and I think that's up.
That's the only way up.
Yes.
And
we are growing, and the idea is to automate even more processes.
And in the process
right now, also not only for the buying market, but also for the people who want to rent their properties.
All right.
We also did some interesting processes.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the rental aspect?
For instance, when they apply for a certain property, and we always ask them to go through an application form. Now this is completely online, and as soon as they fill out this form, they receive an email or they receive a message that we have received all the information and that we will contact them soon. Before, sometimes we got 2 or 3 phone calls before this even happened. And in our task management system, also a card pops up with all the information on the one who wants to rent a property, so we can select if they are suitable for this property or not.
Okay.
If not, we also have just to click one button and they get a friendly email
saying that they have not been selected,
accepted, or they get an email that we are trying to fix an appointment, or they get an invite to schedule a visit.
It sounds a lot like you're managing a lot of business very efficiently with a relatively small team. And do you think that compared to other brokerages, you're able to deal with much more volume than because you automate?
Yes, absolutely. The focus now in the last 12 months was to automate all these processes just to be able to grow in the near future.
Wow.
Once we attract more people and more agents, we can handle this. I think we are a future-proof agency.
Yeah, that really sounds like it. I'm very impressed and with your success. Thank you very much for your insights, and I wish you the best and a lot of success in the future. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.